Today is a pre-recorded Hooray, it's Thursday, because I'm headed north on a scrapbooking weekend away that should have happened months ago, but finally we can go. So I'm going to be hanging out with my friends, and I don't know what the internet's going to be like, and so I didn't know that I could do my live on Thursday, so you're getting a pre-recorded. I'm Courtney, I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia, and today I'm playing with Friends Are Like Seashells from our annual catalogue, and just so that I'm going to steer away from the flowers for a week, and we'll see how we go. All right, let's get started. I'll spin this baby around and off we'll go. Okie dokie. So this is the Friends That Are Like Seashells stamp set. It's carried over into our annual catalogue from our seasonal one from last year. We've got a couple of components of it. There's the actual stamp set. There is also a seaside seashells, oh, say that fast a lot of times, die set that goes with it. And there's also a 3D embossing folder. Okay, this is not mine, so I haven't written on it. So, which has quite a few unique features. You can actually stamp and then emboss. You can just emboss, you can emboss and cut out. This is an emboss and cut out. And that's on our pearl paper, isn't it pretty? Can you see the shine? Okay, but I'm just got everything on the table and I'm not really sure where I'm going to go with this today. So we're going to have a play. I had my first in-home class in a long time the other day, and we had so much fun. And all of the ladies that came have actually booked into my November class. So spots are filling quickly if you're interested in my November class. So we're going to play with this. I was going to use the dies, but I think I might fussy cut. I've got a few ideas in my head. I've got a packet of our water painters here. You get 3 in a set. So I've got those. You can order all of these online. I'll pop a link below. I've got my one out. It's not full because I'm not actually going to use it with water. I've got my blends, and because I'm playing with the Seaside set, I've got my blues. I've got my Wink Stella because it's always fun to have a bit of Wink Stella. Got a variety of bits of cardstock because I don't know where I'm going, and some vellum. Now, if you haven't used our vellum before, you will notice it's actually a lot thicker than stuff that you can get in places like Officeworks and all that sort of stuff. So I do recommend it. It's lots of fun. There's lots of different things that you can do with it. And for today, we're going to do some colouring. Now, if you're working on, it's easier to work on white with the colours that I've got. And I've got some alcohol. This is 99.8% alcohol, but I've done some other videos with the alcohol. We all had so much fun, and I thought this set would just lend it to itself. So I've got a variety of colours. I've got Bermuda Bay, I've got Pool Party, I've got Balmy Blue, and I've got Night of Navy here. They're in no particular order there. When I do my colouring with my blends for this particular technique, I start with the lightest colours first. You don't see a lot of the light colour, but the reason why I start with the light colours first is because you don't want them to get, you don't want to rub some dark colour onto their tip and wreck their brush. So I'm just randomly popping some colour on there. And the reason is that, see, it's really hard to see. And this is like Balmy Blue. I'm using the brush end. It's really hard to see, but I don't want any plain paper for, like, I want colour on the whole page. And as you can imagine, it won't matter if we get a little bit of that light Pool Party on there. This one's the dark Balmy Blue. Can you see the difference? Okay, and as relaxing and as beautiful as it is to watch me colour through all of those, I'm actually going to move them to the side. I'm going to put this to the side because here's one I prepared earlier. So yeah, I'm a bit prepared, only a little bit prepared for this class, but this needs time to dry. So I'll just move a few things out of the way. And with the alcohol, if you squirt really close, you get like a puddle. If you squirt really high up, away from the paper, you get a very soft, subtle change. Now, I don't know where I put it. Where did my, I have on my table, oh, I don't want to stick my hand in there. Oh, there it is, a straw. So, because I thought you didn't want to see the top of my head, as glorious as my hair looks these days, so that you can just push it around a bit. Don't breathe in, it's bad. And try not to spit on it, because that's like gross. Don't mind me. Oh, left a mark. So it doesn't look like much. Give it another bit of a spritz, let it do its thing. And then if you want, if it's dry, you can add more colour if you don't think there's enough colour. The reason why I've used such a big piece is because I'm going to be picky. Right? So I've just put some of my alcohol in a little ceramic dish. It needs to be not plastic because the alcohol will eat it. I'm just dipping my brush in and then I'm just going to tap it. You see all the little bits happening. The other thing you can do is you can actually very gently drop some on it and you're going to get a whole heap of different effects. If you wait and let it dry, you'll get different effects again that next time that you put more alcohol on it. And you end up with loads and loads of different ones. That needs to dry in the middle a bit. Because there's a bit that's... So I'm more or less creating bubbles, but it's actually really fun and you get all different technique, or not techniques, it's the one technique. You get all different backgrounds the more you do. So it's up to you when to decide when you finish playing. Now the other good thing about this one is, see, here's another one I did. And it was relatively the same, but just depends on how much alcohol you put on it. And they look completely different again. I still want some more on here. Oh, that was a big bit. You can tap it, you don't need to tap it with your fingers, you can tap it with a pen. I have been known to break a pencil or two's lead by doing it like so. So my suggestion is something hard. Okay, there's a big puddle there, but that's okay. I need some colour in those spaces. But so if I hadn't put the light on, I would just have big spots where there was actually no colour, which it does look at the moment like that's actually what I've got. But once I add some white to it, you'll notice it's not. All right, so I'll move that one aside. Okay, pop that aside. That'll just evaporate out of there. So I haven't decided if I'm using a Night of Navy or a white card base. I've got a piece here. Which piece was it? This piece here. That I'm just going to stamp some of the images with, and I'm going to colour them. And then I'm thinking I might fussy cut them. So how curly is that? The other one hasn't curled. I must have put a different amount on it. So I've got Night of Navy and I've got Memento, but I'm thinking Night of Navy will be better. So these stamps from my friend have seen a lot of love. So they're not as sticky. The way to get them to be sticky again, just so that you know, is I forgot my, where is my padded? Where is my thing? Popping back, 1 sec. See, it even happens when I'm not live. I forget stuff. Photopolymer stamp set, 1 matte. Although I don't know if you could tell, there's numerous pieces of paper under here. I just keep adding a new one to the top every time I make a video, and then I use the rest of them for the other time. Anyway, so my foam mat's underneath. You could use a catalogue if you haven't got a foam mat. There's a hair on there. Let's see if it's still there. No. Oh, yep. There's a hair on there. It's still there. Oh, and now I can see it. Don't want to ink that up. Once I've coloured it, you won't notice. I don't know how many I'm going to cut out. I don't know how many I'm going to use. So I'm going to stamp a few. Oh, that one's pretty. I'll only use one of that. I have a couple of this little one. Oh, I like him too. He's cute. Maybe I should cut him out with the machine. It'll be faster. That's just a weed. That's the spots. So I've used you, and I want a big one. So I'd normally use Memento for this, but I decided I'd hit up the Night of Navy. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yep, so that's good numbers as far as I'm concerned. I do have the big one, but I think for what I want to do, I don't need it. So to fussy cut, when I talk they do have, you can cut them out using the dies. However, I don't want the white edge. So I'm going to go I'm going to speed this bit up for you, okay? So sing to yourself because there's going to be no sound. Okay, from a composition point of view, we're going to go like so, like so. I might need another starfish, I think. Yep, I need another starfish. This one's with the least hairy one. Okay, so just quickly cutting this one out. I don't know if you've noticed, I know I've sped all the other bit up. So, because there's, you know, fussy cutting I don't mind, but I don't like watching people do it because it frustrates me. So I'm actually moving the paper. And I'm trying not to get as minimal white around that edge. You'll notice some of the bits of the blue have just disappeared onto the piece of scrap, but you know, them's the breaks. Doesn't need to be perfect because I'm actually going to colour them. Okay, so I'm going to pull out my blends and I'm going to add a bit of colour. So this one here is the light balmy blue because I want it to go with our background is the word I was looking for. I like to hold my tongue right when I'm colouring, but I do like colouring. I find it quite therapeutic. I'm just putting a little bit of colour over that Night of Navy ink just to give my shell, although it's got quite a lot of definition, just a little bit more. The grey'd look nice on there actually as well. This one here is our light pool party. Now my shell, which is at the bottom of the ocean, see, just a little bit of colour. I really wouldn't mind a grey, I don't think. This one's the dark pool party. Does anybody else like to colour? I find that the blends are so nice. Oh, that's pretty. I'm going to do a green starfish or pool party starfish. So I'm just putting some of the dark pool party around the outside edge of my starfish. I'm thinking I might need the colour lifter because I put lights pool party. Just blend those colours together a bit. Oh no, I'll just leave that middle bit of my starfish a little bit white down the... Oh, here's a rather nice looking starfish, if I do say so myself. This one. Should we do a balmy blue one? Yeah. Got to get the right end. Have you noticed that there's a line? That's the thin pen end, that's the brush end. It's supposed to help me, but I don't know if you noticed then it, I still had to turn the pen around numerous times. If you've got any little white edges, I don't know if you can see that one there, at the same time as doing your pen, your colouring, you can actually colour over those white edges, and then when you put it on your card, no one will notice. And light balmy blue. Oh, this one's a bit darker than my pool party, so I might put stripes up there. Now, I don't know if you've noticed the other thing that you can do. If you put a lighter colour on top, it'll actually push away and push it, the colour that's underneath it down, which is how the blending feature or function works. So when you turn it over, see how it's coming out on the other side? That, excuse the snoring dog. Her feet are running while she's snoring. Okay, and these guys, oh, I actually think they need to be a different colour altogether. I'm just going to grab my collection. Oh, trip over a few things. Okay, this is how I store my pens. They sit in the cupboard that way, but I'm thinking that little guy, that's pale papaya, and that's a colour lifter. There's the dark pale papaya, and I'm thinking I might do a little bit of grey. So this one here is the light smoky slate. That's the one I want. Just for something a little bit different on these little clamshells. I've just added to your collection of colours, haven't I? So this one's the light. Oh, I probably could have coloured this one before I cut it out. Let's see, how dark are you? Oh, okay. So we'll come from over here. And this guy's going to have some grey as well, because it's a big version. See, and it's only very subtle. A little bit of these ones remind me of, I don't know, when I used to go to the beach, I used to find these really pretty, they're like a pearly colour shells, and they were just so pretty, and they often had holes in them, so you could put, if you wanted to, you could string them on a necklace, which as kids we used to do. I haven't done it for a while. I think this place I'm headed to is near the beach because it's near Foster, so there's some nice beaches up there, so I might have to go for a bit of a walk and see. But yeah, I think this pale papaya's for the win. It's actually really pretty. Oh, yep, okay, I like those. Now, if you wanted to take away some of the colour, like for example in here, just put a little bit of this on. This is a colour lifter, but really it's a colour shover. So it says that it lifts the colour, but it actually pushes it down into the paper. So it takes some of the colour away. Like if you think you've been a bit heavy-handed, you can push it, or if you've got one that's actual, you know, in the lines, let's add. I can hear you all going, no, Courtney, it's too much. But you know what? Look. Shells are pretty. They're all different colours. And sometimes and that's what makes up the sand. It gives all the different colours as they break down. And oh my gosh, that just makes it. Look at it. It just gives it texture. Now, if I wanted to, and which I probably could, I can actually put these through. Let me show you. All right. Feeling brave. Because I'm pre-recording, I feel like I've got all the time in the world. I can actually put these in here and send them through, and not only give them colour. I've got heaps of stuff on my desk, so, but I can also give them texture, and that's rather special. So I'm going to do it. So I know you can't see real well. Right, so that's the side that's got the Stampin' Up on it, is the side that I'm going to lay it on. I'm only going to do one at a time because I don't want to stuff it, but I'm just going to, oh, actually I could probably do all of them. Oh, I can't do my, there's no starfish, can't do starfish. I can do him though. They actually just sort of slip in there. If you've cut them right. In you go. So they sort of just sit quite nicely in the little groovy bit. Close her up. It's a dynamic one, so it needs the board number 1 and this one here that's number 4. It needs to go in with its spine first. Make the table bump. Oh, not sure how well you can see that, but look at that. Can you see the texture? I think I need to do the other baby, so I'll do the other baby one. If I can pick it up. So just pop him in there. He sits quite nicely in there. He, she, whatever it is. Send you back here because it's easier from this side. Spine in first. Pop you on the chair beside me. Need my muscles. There's about 4 kilos in that baby. Tip that one out and that's done. Okay. So now they've got a bit of texture, but what I did notice when I was doing that, all around my edge here's white. So I've got little bits of white everywhere. So to get rid of my white, I used to do this when I did paper towel. Has anyone else ever done paper towel? I love paper towel. You could probably do paper towel with these as well. Like, can you imagine having that top bit up as well? But that's probably a bit too much for a card. Might do that for a scrap page. Okay. So now the other thing I wanted to do, I'm thinking that this is going to be my background piece on here, or on my white with a navy border. So I'm actually thinking I might pop this through as well. I'm not going to pull it back up onto the table, so talk amongst yourselves while I just do this quickly on the chair. I've got the biggest table for this, but everything, I've got chairs all around me to help with my space because I use more than I need. I think my husband thinks I'm a very messy crafter. I have a tendency to agree with him, but that's okay. So, see how pretty is it? Nice texture. And then it actually looks really pretty on there as well. Okay, so we've got a bit of background. Oh, look how different they both look. Oh, that's nice. So, okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut it up. I think, well, it doesn't matter which one I use, they're both pretty much of muchness. I've got some white as well. So this was just a piece of vellum that I cut in half. I'm only turning it over to make my life a bit easier. I'm just trying to think of what sort of size strip I want. Do I want a 2-inch one? You know what? Let's see. A 2-inch strip or a 2.5. I'm thinking the 2-inch strip's going to be for the win. I turned it over because it was to try and stop it from curling on the thing, on the piece of to make it easier to cut. So this is just Whisper. This is basic white. I think I'm still using up my packets of Whisper White to show the honest truth, but it's basic white. You can get it in the online store. So that's 2.5 and 2. I'm thinking 2 is going to be the win. Now, that one's almost run out. The Stamp and Seal is the best way to get this on without seeing it. It's got a little cover on it. This one's almost run out, but I'm going to use it up. You don't need to push really hard. Give it a little bit of a tick. It's not like our previous adhesive that you had to get really neurotic about your tick. So I'm going all the way around. Sometimes it doesn't want to run, but if you start on a bit that's already sticky, you'll find it will run easier for you. Okay, hold your tongue in the correct position. I find I have to stand up for this, whoa, because it's very attracted to me. Now they're both actually the same size, so if I do this correctly, there shouldn't be any overlap. So that's that one. And I'm thinking that I need a smaller piece even. But will I cut it from that one? I don't know. This one here, might end up cutting it from this one, because this one's going to be too big. I can see it already. So probably should have. Now, because I'm going to cut it, I'm going to put some extra adhesive, which means it's even less forgiving if I get it wrong, but I can chop it down. Doesn't matter which way up you put it, it just looks so different with the white behind it. So I'm just holding my tongue right. How good does that one look? They look completely different. Okay, so yep, I'm gonna go with this one. And I'm actually thinking, I'm gonna go with a white base, to tell you the honest truth. I've got a packet here of goodie bits, and of course there's no Night of Navy in it. Of course not. Every other colour under the sun. What's it look like with this under you? Not bad if I do say so myself. But I'm thinking I'll just trim this one down. dark blue there, but it's got a bit of a lip on it. So I put some adhesive here and adhesive here, so I don't want to go too far off my adhesive. Can't see where the adhesive is. So now I'm down to 1 1/4. They're pretty. Then, yeah, see what I mean? The adhesive's not under that piece. Might need to take a little bit off because it's going to rock and roll a bit. That's better. I won't be able to use that piece for anything because there's no adhesive under it. See? And then I'm just going to clip my ends slightly because this piece here is 13.3 and I really want 13.3? No, it's 13.5. So I want my other piece, I want it to sit on top of that exactly. So 13.5, and we're all still adhere. Excellent. Oh, I've got all these scraggly bits. Some of them will have to go in my garbage bin. So you're going to sit over the top here. Let's just trim this one down a little bit because I got a bit carried away. This trimmer is so accurate. Like, look at that tiny little slither that I just took off. I must admit, I'm rather partial to it. Okay, so you're going to sit on there. Okay, and I'm thinking on the... need to take some off the Bermuda Bay now. Oh, that colour under there is the Bermuda Bay colour. But because I trimmed down my white, I'll take just a slither off this as well. Okay, and pop this on here when I can see right here in front of me. See what I mean? Sometimes it doesn't run straight away. You need to give it a little bit of a shove. But if I start on a sticky bit, then it will work. Because it's like the sticky bit, the bit that's already, and voila, this one has run out. Okay, so edumacation time. This is the Stamp and Seal refill. There's 15 meters on this baby. I don't even know why I just did that. Doesn't need you to tear the packet like that. Okay. I really like the little pouches. So this bit gets thrown away and this bit gets put in here when you hold your tongue in the correct direction. How easy. Back together. How easy was that? And we have a new one. Now, if you've got all gunky bits in either side, my suggestion is that you clean them off because they'll actually, they'll stop your adhesive from running. You do need to push it up to get it started. And we have a new one in the house. I don't know how much you guys like to use, but I like things to stay stuck. Hold your tongue right so you get it straight. Oh, I've got sticky on the table. Tongue held right so I got it straight. Now this baby I want to stick on here. That won't cut it because of the texture. So I'm actually going to put some of my multi-purpose glue, otherwise known as Tombow, that doesn't want to come out. Just pull its little knobby bit off. Okay. It must have a, there it is. It's a bit therapeutic, that. Get rid of that bit, and now it will come out. See? This just is stronger. This stuff sticks plastic to plastic, man. I do love it. And because it's darker at the bottom of the ocean, I'm going to put the darker bit down the bottom there. Pop that on there. And look, I do think it looks better on the white. How cool is that? Okay, there's some great sentiments in this. That's too small for me to do anything with. When I'm cutting up my basic white, I end up with all these little bits left over. So I'm going to use one of these for my sentiment. And I'm actually going to make it a little bit skinnier. And I'm going to do that before I stamp on it, just because I'm feeling brave. I actually only want it to be 1.5 centimeters. This is how good the trimmer is. So I hold it quite firmly here, and I go from the bottom up, because then I'm pushing it away so it doesn't wiggle. And then now I've got a 1.5 centimeter strip somewhere on my table. I just think I made it too small. Man, let's try. Pull out the Night of Navy again. And down. Okay, so 1.5 centimeters is too small. Probably should have cut it a second. Let's try again. Happy birthday to my beautiful friend, who actually lives near the beach. Oh, I need to make a Christmas card as well. So, pull you down there. That's much better. I've got the same gap at the bottom and at the top. Now, the other thing I want to do make it a bit bigger. No particular angle, just want see how straight I can get it. Yep, that looks good. We'll make it look good. Okay, and somewhere under here, under all this mess, oh, that was from the other bit, I have got some pretty seashells. And then it's just a matter of making a pretty cluster with said seashells. And starfish. And sticking it on, and I'm missing, oh, there's my other baby. So he's going to go over there. Now, the other thing I thought might be pretty, do you remember this from a few weeks ago? This is the Pretty Expressions in Inks ephemera pack. I thought a little bit of gold would be nice. So, of course, we're not going to use flowers and leaves, but I thought one of these would be really pretty on it. One of these outside ones. So they're just held together by the finest of fine little bits of holding on. So you can just carefully prise the bits out. She says as she just makes everything go skewiff. Keep these bits, because I used them earlier on, I've used them on other things. But they just make a little bit of a difference. Oh, come on, how'd you come? Yeah, that's what we're doing. Okay, and that's going to go underneath. Okay, so I'm actually going to just go like so and not stick anything down. Because I want to stick you there, but you're crooked. Okay, we can't have that nonsense. I don't want crooked. Okay, so you're going to go there. I'm going to use some of this glue just so I can position it. You're going to go there because you're going to go here. Maybe you need to go over a bit more. This one's going on dimensionals, and so's a starfish or two. So you're going underneath there. And you're going underneath both of those there. Probably doesn't need that one, but I do like it underneath there. I'm going to put you on. Did I glue you? No, I didn't glue you. Glue you there. You're actually going to go on top. Okay, so somewhere on my table, I should have these things prepared earlier. I thought I did. It's my dimensionals. It's not one thing, it's another. Okay, so here's a new packet. I'm going to pop dimensionals under you. Okay, so it has some really pretty sentiments in this set. So we've got, you are unique and completely amazing. My friend would get all funny with me if I sent her that, I think. Happy birthday, my beautiful friend. And Friends are like seashells. You collect them along the way. I love that. That'd be nice on a scrapbook page. Same with love you to the beach and back. Oh, I was going to put weed and stuff on here, but I forgot. Oh, well, okay. And then we're going to stick you there. And I would say it's done, but it's not because I didn't use my Winter Stella, which is getting to be on its last legs. Can you hear that? I don't think I'm going to get anything out of it. No, it's not going to give me any glory. Oh, maybe, yes, it is, a little bit, which is actually all I want. So I'm just putting a little bit of all right, time for a new one, Court. Putting an order in if anyone would like something, because I need a new Winter Stella, and I'm more than happy to share postage for those people on the coast, that is. So I'll get a Winter Stella. If I put an order in if you're putting an order in, or I'm putting an order in, I like to get it close to the $120. And the reason being, I put it in with a hostess code. Everything goes in with a hostess code. But the reason being is shipping is $5.95, which is a bargain in itself. It's the cheapest place I've ever found craft shipping, unless you getting a free shipping if you spend over so much. But oh man, yep, it's dying an ugly death. I've got about 4 in the same condition. I thought this was the best one, but I was wrong. I'm going to put some on my... Got to be careful not to push the... Oh, that needs to go. Let's see, what's this one like? Oh, this one's got stuff in it. What colour are you? Okay. Yeah, so got to be careful you don't push the Night of Navy ink around, because it will. But I'm just giving it a little bit of a... Anyway, so I'm popping an order in. Shipping is for $5.95 or 5%, whichever's greater. So if you pop an order in, up to about round figures, and it's not exact, around the $120 mark is when you start to pay the 5%. So I always like to put in an order that's as close to that $120 as possible to get the most bang for my buck, for my shipping buck. So I'm more than happy to share shipping. I normally put an order in at least each week. But if anyone would like, oh, get that blue off there. If anyone would like to share shipping with me, I am putting an order in this weekend for a new Winter Stella brush. Because this one, although it's coming out nice, it's not, it's on its last legs as well, because I use it heaps. And I flick them around, and yeah. You sort of, because again, you can do the same thing that you did with the alcohol, and you can, this has got enough to do it at the moment, so that's good. Can't have anything else laying around because it all gets covered. But look, can you see it? Okay, so I'm thinking that's going to look really nice on there. It does actually. So we'll just let that Winter Stella dry. I am going to put a white, I normally, because it's a white card, I would normally put just stamps straight on the inside. But I'm thinking, no, I will. I'll just stamp straight on the inside, and I won't add. The blends, the Stampin' Blends go straight through. I had an envelope here. My gosh, everything's got legs today. Everything's got legs every day. I'm just going to grab an, here. No, I'm just going to grab another envelope. These are the best envelopes ever. They're actually currently on back order and you can't get them at the minute, but they're coming back on the 18th of November apparently into the warehouse. So as soon as they're in, I'm getting some more because they're just so nice. They're nice and thick. They're nice and they're just nice. So I need my foam mat, pop you under here. And I'm just going to pop some stamps on the front. Of my envelope. Why is that rocky? Don't know. And that sticker starfish. Nice. Inside of my card, I'm popping the sentiment. Friends are like seashells, you collect them along the way. Pretty. Bit of weed. And another seashell. Or two. Okay, now if you wanted to color that in with blends, you have to use them so lightly because it just comes straight through the other side. So I'm just putting a little bit of color, just so that I don't want to push it through. I'm using the pen section because this is so fine. And I don't know if you can see that close, but I'm not colouring it perfect. And I'll just put a little bit of pale papaya on these guys. Just so there's a little bit of colour in there. I'm not going to do anything to the envelope. I hope my wink of Stella isn't dry. Looks like it is. But just in case, I'm actually going to just use this. One of the things I had to keep saying to my ladies that came for class on the weekend was you always put your adhesive on the smallest piece. So this is my smallest piece. My card front's actually bigger. All right, hold my tongue correctly. I've got wiggle room with this, so I'm not concerned. Because I don't want to smudge my wink of Stella, I'm okay for it to land on my envelope. See, wink of Stella on the envelope. Just a little bit. Let's put some seashells on the back to hide. There's a little bit of blue on there as well. Make it look like I've done it deliberately. No, I don't want that one. Where's my weed? Pretty that up. All looks good. Got ink everywhere. Them's the breaks. So that is Friends I Like Seashells from my beautiful friend that lives down in near the beach. And how's that? Thanks for joining me. Next Thursday I'm working, so you'll get another pre-recorded. I might jump on live at some other stage. I make no promises because who knows what life is going to throw at me. But so next Thursday will be another pre-recorded video. And if anyone wants to see anything in particular, if you hit me up before, let's say Monday, I'm more than happy to see if I can accommodate your requests. Yeah, cool.